Hey everyone, and welcome to the next Pokemon Productions video, and today I'm going to be starting another review series. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done one, so I thought I'd make a start here. And I'm also going to be reviewing the seasons of a TV show. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm going to be reviewing seasons of a TV show. Specifically, I'm going to be going through, in the next few videos, I'm going to be going through all 4 seasons of the S Club 7 TV series, which ran from 1999 to 2002. I finished watching the series not that long ago, and I feel like I'm now ready to discuss my thoughts and feelings on the show. And so we're going to start off with the very first of the seasons, Miami 7, which premiered in 1999. Now, each story of the S Club 7 series, there's a different story in each season, but the overarching story is that the titular group travel from place to place on the journey of becoming famous, and Miami is their first stop. The story of Miami 7 is that S Club 7 are given a shot at attaining popularity in Miami by their management. However, they find themselves working at the Florida Paradise Hotel, working as employees and also entertaining the guests under the regime, well, not really regime, but under the employment of Howard Belotti and his brother, Marvin. Now, I want to point something else, that the songs they use in the TV series in Miami 7 are from the group's very first album, S Club, and they use them to great effect. There's usually a song in every episode, and each episode shows the group going on crazy adventures while also trying to become famous. And the 7 members of the group each have their own distinct personalities to tell them apart. For example, so we have Jo, she's rather feisty and a bit hot-tempered, but ultimately she is the lead singer of the group and basically team leader, and so she is there for everybody. She's loyal. And then we have John, who is actually one of the more intellectual members of the group. He doesn't really have that much success with girls, basically. Like, he's not that good at, that sort of thing. But I still like him. He's a very good character. Then we have Tina, who is the choreographer of the group, and she's probably one of the coolest on the group. She's a very cool girl. She's a very cool person. She just doesn't take nonsense from anybody. Then we have Bradley, who is, I guess we could say, the ladies' man of the team. He's the ladies' man, and he's the one who thinks he's cool, and and he just makes it very funny. And so he is basically my favourite male member of the band, Bradley. Then we have Hannah, who is kind of characterised as like the little sister of the team, even though technically she's not the youngest member. The youngest member is in fact John. But yeah, Hannah is characterised as the little sister of the team. She's very sweet, and she sees things that nobody else sees, and she asks the questions that nobody else would ask. I mean, in one episode, she even starts chatting up a dolphin. I'll get more into that in a bit, I promise you. But yeah, I like her. She makes me laugh. She made me laugh. Paul is, well, let's just say he is the sensible kid, as Howard puts him. He's a sensible one, and he rallies the people together, and he also has a few good moments as well. Like in one episode, he's put in charge during a hurricane and that sort of thing. But I just like Paul. And finally, we have Rachel, who is actually my favourite female member. She's very warm and compassionate, like the heart of the team. She's very grounded in reality. But she's also a bit of a fashionista, always kind of concerned about her looks. But that's just one part. So overall, the group are all very entertaining. And then there's the 2 people they work under, Howard and Marvin Belotti. Howard is the owner of the hotel they work at, Florida Paradise, and he is a bit of a grouch. He's a bit of a grouch. He treats them very harshly. He's very hard on them, like gives them all these sorts of things to do. And when he gets them to perform, he wants them to do what he wants them to do. But then they just get back at him and do their songs, which are a lot better. But we did have those moments in the series where Howard showed a bit of a softer side, and he showed that he actually cared about the S Club. Like in episode 9, which is called Missing, Howard loses S Club 7 to his cousin Hank in a card game, and he finds that the hotel's just not the same without them, so he does all he can to try and win them back. Which is actually a really good episode for showing Howard's softer side, showing that there is a heart underneath that grouch. His brother Marvin is a lot more polite and well-mannered, and he's a bit timid, honestly. He's a bit timid. Howard's usually ordering him around, and he's always there to follow Howard's orders, but he seems a bit reluctant, and he seems to care more about the kids than Howard does. In a way, I don't know if anybody else who watched this series got these sort of vibes, but Howard and Marvin, they're kind of like Captain Hook and Mr. Smee in a way, with Howard being the Captain Hook type character and Marvin being the Mr. Smee type character. Like, I honestly think, like, after watching it and after looking back at a few episodes, Howard and Marvin genuinely did remind me of Captain Hook and Mr. Smee. And I hope did anybody else get that at all? Let me know. In the season, there were 13 episodes, each one lasting about 25 minutes. So, you know, when it was airing on CBBC, actually, I take back what I was about to say, because the BBC doesn't have ad breaks, so, you know, it'll be a traditional 25-minute episode without any ad breaks whatsoever. It's BBC. There were quite a few good episodes in the show. One of my personal favourites is episode 12, How Deep Is Your Love, where the hotel gets shut down for being unsanitary, and the group head off to a dolphin centre for some time off. And that's the episode I was talking about earlier, where Hannah is actually chatting up a dolphin called Donnie, which I think is honestly unbelievable. It's amazing. It was just incredible, like how Hannah struck up a friendship with a dolphin, who are very sociable animals, as I think they've mentioned in the episode. But it was just very funny and honestly quite endearing. And of course, but the main plot is Paul falling for their instructor Janine, but it turns out she's just using him as a part of her psychology experiments, because she actually goes on a date with Brad as well. It's just a very fun episode. It was just a fun episode, and that's why it was my favourite. My least favourite, or at least the one I don't really remember that much about, was probably episode 3, which is called the Chevy Chase, I think. It's the one where they go out and they borrow Howard's car, but then it breaks down and they have to borrow a part from Howard's other car. And but by far the craziest episode had to be episode 11, Bermuda Triangle. And if that title alone doesn't sell it, then maybe the plot will. The group go through the Bermuda Triangle on Howard's boat, and they end up in 1975. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. They end up in the year 1975. Their clothes have changed. Their hairstyle has changed. They even meet a younger Howard. And they even perform their own cover of ABBA's Dancing Queen, which I think was pretty good. It's the only one, I think it's the only episode in the series where they don't do a song from their album. As for the songs they did do from their album, well, the popular ones for me were You're My Number One, 2 in a Million, Everybody Wants You was pretty good, and also Bring It All Back, which is also the theme tune for the series. Yeah, Bring It All Back was Miami 7's theme tune, and before you ask, they did do it in one of the episodes. They did it in episode 10, and yeah, Miami 7 was just an amazing series, and there were kind of a few overarching plots in there, like Hannah getting all sorts of like love interests around the series, mainly on the beach or something like that, and Rachel missing her boyfriend. But it was just overarching plots, and that's what makes a good show. It's what makes a good show. And eventually, at the end of the show, they do head off to LA, which is of course where the next season is set. But there were actually 2 specials or TV movies that they actually did before the next series. I'll go through them briefly. The first one was Back to the 50s, where they go through a time warp and end up in a 1950s town which is overrun and ruled over by a gang. Sounds just as crazy as it is. I mean, seriously, it's kind of a Back to the Future vibe. It really is a Back to the Future vibe. S Club 7 does Back to the Future. That's the way to sum up Back to the 50s. And the other one, and the one I personally prefer, was Boyfriends and Birthdays, where Rachel is actually given an ultimatum by her boyfriend. Either she returns to England to be with him, or she stays in America with the band, and they're done. And if you ask me, and to be honest, this is probably Rachel's best storyline in Miami 7. This is probably because Rachel didn't really have that many storylines of her own, because Tina had a storyline where she was stuck in an alien costume and she was on the other side of Florida. Jo had a storyline where she regretted trying to break up with her boyfriend. Hannah has multiple love interests. Paul, he had a storyline where he was in charge of the hotel during a hurricane. John had a storyline where he was struggling with women. And Bradley, well, Bradley, you know, it's just Bradley, the ladies' man. But yeah, Rachel didn't really have that many storylines, so I'm glad that this special gave her one. And if you ask me, this is probably her best. This is the best storyline that Rachel has gotten, like, out of all the storylines she's had throughout the entire series, but we'll get more into that as we go on to the shows. But yeah, Rachel's storyline in Boyfriends and Birthdays was absolutely amazing, and that's why I prefer that special. So all in all, Miami 7 is a great start to S Club 7's journey. And if you guys are interested in checking out the 13 episodes and the 2 specials, then there are playlists available on YouTube that have the entire series. The playlist I use to watch is from the Pop Archive, who have it remastered in HD. In fact, I will put a link to the playlist in the description below, so you guys can check it out if you so wish. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. And before we go, I just want to say that my deepest respects go to the actor who played Howard Bellotti, Alfie Wise, who sadly passed away in 2025. Alfie brought great comedy to the role of the Grouch, and he was able to show his softer side. He played the role absolutely brilliantly. So Alfie, thank you for all you have done for the show. Thank you for giving us such an amazing performance, and may you rest in peace. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Join me next time where I will be talking about the second season of the show, LA 7. See you guys. Take care.